Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are here today with Jacques Barrett. How are you, brother?
So good. Great to be here. Thanks, Jehmal. Thank you, Australia.
Thank you, Australia. Humbled to be the one interviewing you.
Dude, thanks very much. You don't need to be. I would have done this. I would have done this for free with no cameras.
Well, we do it in the alleyway anyway. We talk.
Really?
No. I just follow you and I listen to your
Did
conversations.
you get that thing that I told you to get? You know the thing?
No.
You got the... You did.
Yeah. Have you been up to much today?
I played golf earlier today in anticipation for my 3 shows. I'm going to be playing a little bit later at the Comedy Lounge here in Murray Street at 6:30. Then the Fremantle
Hey, yo.
at 7:30, and then back here for the 8:30.
What do you
Bang,
think of the
bang,
Freo
bang.
room?
I love it. I think it's great. I think it really captures the essence of this room, the beauty, the strength, the semicircle. And it's great. Honestly, the crowd that was out there last 2 weekends in a row that I've done as well. Look, I like them rough and tumble, right? I like a fucking good old chicken salt of the earth Australian audience with a bit of bite, bit of working class, bit of zip. But Fremantle is a bit more middle class.
Yeah.
And I can therefore, with just that little bit more social intelligence, might I say,
Ayo.
some of my brow can go a little bit higher.
Nice.
The material can be a little bit more
Sophisticated.
not sophisticated.
Oh.
You've seen my set, but I can talk about topics that might be a bit more niche
Oh,
for someone who wears a flannel on purpose.
Do you have an example of something that was a little bit more niche that you felt comfortable sharing?
Well, there's a couple of movie references that I've got that people in Fremantle kind of got a little bit more than they sometimes get here.
Okay.
Also, a lot of my material kind of does poke and prod at the working class of Australia, and nothing against. That's my bread and butter. I straddle working class and middle class. My dad is hectically working class.
Okay.
And my mum was was very posh. She's
It's
middle
like Hannah
class.
Montana, best of both worlds. Is that what they say?
Yeah, that's it. I don't know
Yeah.
what you're talking about because
You
I
don't?
don't watch children's TV.
That's a thing, though, right? When she goes best of both worlds or whatever.
I'm not sure with it. I'm not familiar with much
saw
of
you with a
Hannah's,
t-shirt. Oh, okay.
Hannah's back catalogue. But no, because my mum is very middle class and dad working class. I'm accepted in both Siege and Village. So I can transgress. I can go from one to the other. I don't have any preference really, but a lot of my material is kind of going at Australian fucking working class, like attacking certain real solid type like stereotypes from that demographic and from that class. So it works a little. It goes a little bit better. It pops a little harder when you're talking to middle class people who
Have that degree of separation.
elitist, rich, Illuminati 1% scum. Going, it was one of us. Look at him. He's hanging shit on the working class. But deep down, I'm like, I just want your money and I'll do whatever it fucking takes.
That's so working
I'm
class.
fucking true blue.
Bleed maroon.
I bleed maroon, mate.
I love that. I
I
say
bleed
that all the time.
maroon.
Because
Yeah.
my family are Queenslanders.
Are they Queenslanders?
Yeah,
really?
man.
Really?
Yeah, well, they're Torres Strait Islanders, so they come from the Torres Strait.
Bang,
which is-
bang.
yeah, from the
Yep.
top of Queensland, and they moved down to Karratha.
Karratha.
Karratha. But
That's-
all of them are still in Queensland.
That's a
lot of
dry
them.
heat.
Oh, my God. Losers. It's the worst. Karratha, yucky. But I love you guys.
Thanks for coming out to the Comedy Lounge every now and then.
So how long have you been doing comedy now, Jacques?
20 years when I first ever stepped on a stage.
Like today? As in like
20
this
years?
year, 20
No,
anniversary?
from May this year.
Okay.
In 2003, I did open mic for the first time. And this was in Sydney, and I did open mic for a long time. I didn't really have much ambition to progress in comedy. I was just fucking around. I enjoyed it. I got some good laughs. I had some real solid deaths. But I was just messing around. There wasn't like the infrastructure that you've got in the Australian comedy circuit these days. There's so many open mic nights, and there's a lot of other comics who are like, I want to run my own room. I don't want to contribute to the community. So there's a lot of opportunity to get up on stage. We just didn't have it.
Yeah, okay.
There was two
Even
or three
in Sydney? Because Sydney's
I know
quite
this,
big, right?
Yeah, this is 20 years ago. There was just there was 2 or 3 amazing open mic nights, and then not much else. You know,
What room was it, if you don't mind me asking?
it was the Comedy Store
Oh,
Tuesday
no
night
way.
open mic night.
Fucking hell.
They used to have a Tuesday night open mic night. It was phenomenal, amazing. It was emceed often by Will Anderson or Charlie Pickering or some whoever was headlining that weekend would also MC the.
That's part of the package for the pay, yeah?
And it was just fucking great. Man, there was so many great comics that came out of that particular 5-year period. You know, great comics. Daniel Towns, Sam Baring, Nick Sun, Ken Valentine, a bunch of guys who household names.
Yeah.
If you know comedy. But that was an earlier start to comedy, open mic for 4 years before I got my first ever paid gig, I think.
Oh, wow.
3 years, maybe, before I got my first ever paid gig.
So you must have loved it, right? Committing for that long without even... Were you
Without any
worried
pressure.
about...
No, I was a bartender and bar manager. So
okay.
on my nights off, if I could, sometimes I'd work
comedy.
I'd just switch my shift and work during the day, and then I did comedy at night. It was just a fun thing. It was a fun outlet. I ran a couple of comedy rooms, so I was thinking about maybe being a comedy producer, just involved in the industry in general.
You still thinking about that?
No, I tried it. I've done it too many times. I'm no good.
Oh, why
I'm no
why
good at
not?
the running the comedy.
Oh.
It's tough. It's hard. It's a slog, isn't it?
Dealing
you would
with-
know.
But you can't.
Yeah, fucking general public.
Oh, yucky.
Shocking. Yeah, I don't promoting. That's a side of comedy I've not. It's because probably anyone watching this has never heard of me, because my self promotion and my just general social media attack is not strong. And it's got to be, man. You got to have an email list, which is to me the grubbiest thing. Anything that feels like a job in terms of comedy, I don't like it. I just want to do the fucking dick jokes.
Yeah.
And I just want to blah, 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 and that's it. Beyond that, it seems like I got into comedy because I never wanted to work. And I managed to find this dodge. I found a loophole.
In the system.
Where I get to do exactly what I do for free. Tell no one. Don't you tell the boss that I do this for free. You got to keep that Bitcoin coming. But it's what I do for little to no money, but I still get to do it, and I thoroughly enjoy it. I enjoy the torment of it.
Which is worth more than money. Enjoying it.
Yeah, totally. And then there happens to be money on top of that, so I can completely focus on it. It's great. For however long it lasts, I would like to keep doing comedy until, obviously, the day I die.
And that's very doable.
I think
this
it
industry,
is. The way I eat, my diet.
Yeah, you got a good diet. I thought you were good.
Yeah, I'm fucking around. Just fucking around. I'm going to be 80, 85. I'm going to get to a point where I'm doing comedy on a cruise ship and I'm the oldest motherfucker in the room.
Oh, that's going to be fucking gangster.
That's so gangster.
You reckon you'll still do the same bits?
Yeah. Yeah. Me just talking to a bunch of 83-year-olds. Good pussy, am I right? You guys eating ass? Anyway, cigar.
Oh, that's so good. So what made you decide to jump on? Was it just you were bored? Is it something that you liked as a kid?
I had a good group of friends at school, and we were like a class clown improv troupe. We were all individual, just dickheads at
So
school.
you had a strong 10 already.
Yeah,
before leaving school.
Well, I had a lot of accents because I grew up an only child, so I did a lot of voices and characters. So I've got a whole arsenal of different nationalities and characters I can do impressions of.
All of them are black, by the way.
Absolutely, all of them. So yeah, I had to start to write jokes recently because of these fucking woke progressives coming in and calling me out on obvious casual racism. And good for you guys, and it's the right thing to do. But for fuck's sake, God, I got some fucking bangers. I got an impression of Barack Obama. It is timeless.
Do you actually?
Absolutely.
Can you please
timeless.
do it right now?
Go fuck
Can you
yourself.
please do it right
Get
now?
out of here. Absolutely not. The only impression of Barack Obama I'll ever do is when I drop this goddamn mic if you ask me to do an African-American impression again. Let's give you a clean edit point. I have a bunch of friends at school. We're all just loose cannons, all equally very funny. And then from there, I never really wanted to do it, essentially, but I went to the Comedy Store to see a show with a friend, and it was before I ever did comedy. I saw open mic night, and I honestly saw them, and I was like, these guys are funny, these girls are funny. But in my mind, it's like, I wouldn't be the worst person on this lineup. I wasn't like, I'd fucking smash all these fucking hacks. But I was like, I wouldn't be the worst person on that lineup. And then I did my first spot, and
you were.
I was. I was by far. I did good. I was in the middle band, and then my second ever show, open mic night, was at the Comedy Store again. About 3 weeks later, and I destroyed.
Yeah?
Yeah, Jehmal, I leveled the place.
Fuck yes.
I can't tell you how fucking hard I killed. And then 3 weeks later, I did it again. I did the same set, and it bombed. It bombed so hard. really uncomfortable death because I got up cocky because I was still riding the coattails of my previous crush.
Yeah.
And here's the thing with an audience: is you can crush on one night, and the next night it's not the same audience.
No.
They don't love you. They don't know you.
Yeah.
And if you're an open mic night, and you get up and you're cocky,
They're against you
Ugh.
instantly. Yeah.
it's awful. I've seen it happen all the fucking time. It's just grubby.
yeah.
It's a big mistake, but you do it and you learn from it immediately. Well, most comics do.
Okay.
I certainly did.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that brings us on to a very good point, which is the next one is comedy writing. So how do you have a particular system? write?
I definitely have a note section in my phone that
Okay.
is chock-a-block with just funny premises, not necessarily funny, but things that made me laugh. And I go, oh, okay, that's funny. Let's see if there's more there. Now, I don't have a writing process per se, but because of my characters that I can do, what I'll do is I'll propose a hypothesis like, you ever seen these people who are like this? And people are like, and then I do an impression of that. I do an act out. I act out it's almost like I do a mini sketch, one person show of a situation that may have happened to me, or you ever seen this? And I do an act out of that. And then I go, and we just did the sketch, and now what have we learned? And then I'll do a little kind of post-mortem of what happened, and that's a lot of my bits are kind of like that: a hypothesis, an act out, and then a conclusion.
Okay.
That's by accident. I don't have an actual template or an approach to a bit. I don't have a formula. I think that's inorganic.
Yeah, for sure.
Unorganic.
Inorganic. Inorganic. I think they're both right.
It's both.
Is it both? Okay.
Both. So it's disorganic to do it. And I try to just let things happen naturally. I don't like to. I hate the idea of having a formula, because then the joy of discovering a punchline, the comedy gods giving me a gem, that's so much more joyful than me at going, okay, well, if this is the line, this is the setup, and then this is the premise, and then this is the punchline, and you do these in a row, and blah, 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 blah. But you see a lot. Some comics do use formulas, and it works. I mean, the audience is laughing because it's literally you're hacking someone's brain when you do comedy, and there are certain push points where you can hack someone's brain and make them laugh against their will. They don't have any choice because you've just literally fucking cracked a safe, and they laugh. But if you do that same kind of formula 2, 3, 4 times in a row, around the 4th or 5th time, they don't know. The audience doesn't know, but subconsciously they're like, there is a pattern forming here, and it's a little bit not stale, but you just got to hide the puppet strings when you're doing comedy.
Oh, I like
think.
that.
Yeah.
I like that
Well,
expression.
thank you. I hope. Yeah.
Did you just make it up then?
I invented it in the 1920s. Back when I was doing vaudeville, I was like, we got to hide these puppet strings because people are hip to it. And then it's still I'm still trying to get it going as a phrase.
I can help you. I've got a
Please.
Facebook group of wannabe phrase
Red hot phrases.
Yeah, red hot phrases.
Open mic night.
10 phrases a day.
Yeah.
The same phrase of Jacques Barrett every day.
I got a wheel wet wagon. Uh-oh. Bangers. So when my writing process is I just think on a thing. George Carlin gave some good advice, which I follow as well. Find something that infuriates you and then do comedy about that.
Okay.
Because, I mean, it might be, if it infuriates you, chances are it infuriates other people. But if it doesn't infuriate anyone else, it's even more fun because you get to bring people into people love finding a new thing that they're allowed to hate.
Yeah.
People are like, I never hated that. I'm in.
Yeah, that's so true.
Introducing people to new hobbies or new joys, that's fine.
Yeah,
I mean, that's for basic
been
fucking
done.
crystal licking fucking morons who are like, I'm just looking for positivity. But if you can give them something brand new to hate, oh baby, people love it. People love it.
Tear it down, they will come, as they say.
Yes. Yeah. But if you did look at my comedy and you wanted to find a pattern, it would probably be the hypothesis, act out, and then the conclusion, summation of what we just saw.
Well, I've seen your set quite a bit, and I've never even seen that formula. So you hide the puppet strings quite well,
perfect.
Jacques. Yeah.
Perfect. Good.
Very well done.
Thank you, sir.
So this brings us on to our last question, which, and especially with
That's it?
someone. Yeah, that's it. It's only a 15-minute interview.
Really?
Yeah. You're free after this, don't worry.
I don't know what I'm going to do. It's not an hour until
I mean, we can continue talking if you like.
If you want.
Yeah.
How much do you have to do? I'm loving this.
You're loving this?
I'd love to reverse this and ask you some goddamn questions.
Okay, you can ask me some questions.
So, okay, before we get to the final question for me,
Yeah.
can I ask you, watching comedy up the back there, you're in the booth, you're concentrating on the panel. I know you do a lot of stuff. You're ready. You're at a hair trigger to turn the lights on to give a punchline a little extra juice. You do a little light show, which I love. You got the sound absolutely perfect. The lighting is absolutely perfect. You're watching a lot of comedy. You're watching a lot of the whole spectrum of brand new, never done it before, up here doing a gong show, all the way through to battle-hardened, proper international TV headliners, like huge profile ones. So you're looking at that. How often will a comic do something or say something, do a bit, and you have a punchline or an extra tag or a little extra thing or another direction they could take that in that you wish you could tell them? Does that happen often?
No.
Really?
Yeah, because I try to not intervene with the creative process of someone else. And I think it's almost egotistical for me to even try to supply an accessory to someone else's creative liberty.
You're very humble, and it's what's holding you back. But if you see so much comedy, by osmosis, it would be seeping in. You would be seeing you're spotting raccoons out there, you know? You got some good vision for maybe a good punchline. I probably wouldn't do it to like someone, like me, where I say, "Hey, Jacques, can I just talk to you about one of your bits?" But I'll ask you. This is a follow-up question to this, but for some of the newer comics, and if they're making a mistake that you've seen other comics make, do you like to let the audience tell them that they're making a mistake, or do you like to tell them yourself so they
do
stop?
It over the god mic while everyone's watching. Just really fucking make it a memorable time for them.
God, mate.
They don't even know I'm back there.
Really?
They thought I just sat them. They didn't understand the power I actually had.
Yeah,
because they're
very
not.
cool.
They're new. They're newbies.
They don't know. They don't understand.
Just yell sexist things at women sometimes.
Yeah,
Not really, but
and then over the mic you just go, "No."
It depends how bad it is.
No.
Well, everyone gets offended. The moment I have tried to give people tags like on the first question, but they just go, "Oh yeah."
Yeah, sure,
You know what I
Jehmal,
mean?
whatever.
Yeah, okay. Keep it in the buttons.
Yeah, okay.
Move the fade.
Yeah.
But with newer people, my biggest advice is like just keep writing. Like I don't understand why you're still doing the same 5 minutes, and I'll just tell it to them over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And it's not even about creating a funnier 5. It's just about
The
improving
process.
and just forcing yourself to have different thought streams and to build yourself as an artist. It's like, imagine if Eminem stopped on his first LP, and not just even his first LP, but his first song.
First song.
That was really good because it's Eminem.
But never,
and
not
then just
even close.
never wrote anything else and just kept doing
It's a waste
that
of
stuff.
military resources.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah, I think you've got to commit.
But no one ever listens.
They do listen. People do listen. They do. Follow-up question. You see a lot of comedy. How often do you see the same premise or the same punchline or maybe the same just straight up bit hit the stage from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different comics all doing the same thing? And do you think they're stealing it, or do you think it's just an accident? They're just thinking about the same thing at the same time?
It's just cons to think they're smarter than they are.
Really?
Oh, for sure. I remember we had one guy that was doing comedy, and he was like, oh, I'm not racist because I fuck anyone. And it's like,
What?
dude, I've heard that from every single racist
Ever.
I've ever heard. But they
Yuck.
think it's a bit. Or you do, it's just like, my wife.
My wife. So it's like Wikipedia jokes. It's literal like jokes from the dawn of the internet.
Yeah.
That people are still like just dusting off and doing here and thinking that the audience or the people who work there won't be able to go, dude, that's a fucking
been done.
that's a meme. And that's it's out of date.
So out of date. A lot. I see recycled bits, but not too much. It's normally people that haven't got up yet that
Totally. And they don't know what to do, and they don't know that you're not supposed to steal material, and if you do, it's a black star next to your name.
Yeah.
And it's a quiet, slow slow death you'll experience within the
Yeah.
industry if you
For
get a
sure.
reputation for it.
Just push you to the corner and forget you exist, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, not too much. I think we've got a good circuit. And for some reason, maybe the Australian culture just breeds like particularly unique perspectives, I think, depending on where you work, like especially Perth. We're such an isolated place. You get some fucking characters here.
You do.
Because you're just so
You damn do.
separated.
Yeah, you get. I think comedy requires an interesting childhood,
Yeah.
and ethnically, spiritually, recreational, druggedly. There's lots of different human beings happening and occurring and growing here in Perth, in Australia in general. Also, with this much, multiculturalism, immigration, and this much essentially hardened freedom that we experience in Australia, people are going off in different fucking, and because there's really quite solid freedom of speech. You get some wingnuts coming up here and speaking their mind,
Yeah.
really speaking their mind, and you're like, "Fuck, I have not since a comment section in a Facebook post in 2009 have I heard something this fucking crazy, and I'm here for it. It's not funny, but let him finish."
That's my favorite part when it's not funny and you just hear me like
Yeah.
at the back.
The lone.
Oh,
man.
so good.
That's the worst. It's the worst and best laugh you can hear.
Yeah.
Is the sound
guy?
tech.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
The tech. Honestly, whenever I do any shows, a festival show or any show I do, if it's a tech that I know or don't know, my goal is to make the audience laugh, but also to make the tech laugh. Because that means at least, because they've seen a lot of shit, that means you're at least being, you're showing some modicum of originality. But also they see comedy so much that it's just a nice compliment if someone who's seen a lot of comedy finally goes, "Yeah, I didn't see a lot of those punchlines coming, so you got me too."
Yeah.
I think it's, but never, if you're a comic or anyone, never try and make the back of the room laugh
No.
first. The front of the room, pay the bills.
Yes, that's so
Back
true.
of the room, pat your back.
Pat your back.
Yeah.
And you can argue which one's more important.
Yeah,
At
it's
certain
for
parts
the
in your
courts to
life, you
decide.
need-
But
Okay, cool. Well, then I guess that brings us on to our last question then.
I'm ready, and I'm
Yeah,
sad, but
you're
I'm
ready?
ready.
I'm sorry, I do have to go. But if you could restart your comedy journey, is there anything that you would change?
I'd probably say no to that gig on Epstein Island. It paid well.
It did?
Yeah,
I heard.
it paid really, really, really well. I can't tell you what currency. It's a little on the nose, but it's flesh based. No, I wouldn't change much. I've thought about that before. If I could go back and tell 23-year-old me at the start of the comedy career, I wouldn't say anything to jeopardize getting on a different path, because this path I've been on doing comedy has been so nourishing, and it's been, like I said, tormenting, and it's been ups, downs, highs, lows, cliches everywhere.
Yeah.
But it has been very enjoyable. And if I'd be worried even to say even just a little piece of advice early on that it might send me on a different path. So if I would say to 23-year-old me, said it's going to be fine. And then that's it.
Oh, I'm sure 23-year-old you would really appreciate
I'd
that.
also pull out and I'd see if my balls have gotten bigger. Well,
Yeah, you would have to test.
over age, like over time, your balls kind of hang lower. I'd compare.
Is that
I
what
could
that song
see.
is? That my balls hang low? Is that what the song
I haven't heard the song. Is that
Oh.
Hannah Montana?
I think so.
Okay, I haven't heard that one, but it's
Wrecking balls.
the Wrecking Balls. Yeah, totally.
yeah.
It's about a guy. It's about a guy knocking down the whole old people's home he's in with his own nuts. But I would probably go. Can I just really quick have a look at your nuts to see if if mine have dropped since see if they've like the sagged a lot, and then that's it. So I do a dick joke, and then I'd tell you it's gonna be fine, and then I'd leave.
Nice. Oh, that's a really original way of
Is it?
ending that. Yeah, no one's ever said
thought?
that they would compare their
Jacques
younger
Barrett doing a
selves'
dick joke to close out a show. Oh, now I've heard everything.
Well, thank you so much for meeting.
Jehmal, it was an absolute pleasure. It's an honor. It was
The
all
honor's
mine.
mine. It's ours.
We'll have to edit that out.
Yeah.
Let's take that again. The honor was all yours.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jacques Barrett, we hope to see you soon. He doesn't normally clap. That means we're doing good.